Here we go. All right. Hello, everybody out there on the internet. Thanks for tuning in to COFOH Presents. We're here with the Colorado Bat crew. See, Denise, I almost messed that up. The Colorado Bat crew that rescues bats.
Yes.
That's right.
That's right.
And I'm joined with Denise Schaefer and Sachiko Boland. How are you doing?
Awesome.
Doing great.
Welcome back. We're awesome.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for joining us. We're going to have a coloring session. I printed out some artwork that I had done for your nonprofit for Colorado Bat Crew and Bat Rescues. And we're going to be coloring. And I'm joined with my nephews and niece. My nephews Noah and Finn, and my niece Grace. And their parents are here. My sisters Kendra and Carrie. So feel free to say hello, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Grace, say hi.
Hi.
Oh. She's got a cute, Batgirl mask, so she's ready to jump in on this. So everybody at home, go to the event page, follow the links. You can download your own bat art. Obviously, I got a head start coloring, but download it, print it out, and join us in some family coloring fun. And then with that, Denise and Sachiko are going to share with us some information and educate us about bats and bat conservation. And also, if you can, talk to us a little bit about, some of the misunderstandings with, COVID-19 and, things of that nature. And I think my niece and nephews also, sent you some bat questions too.
Absolutely.
I sure did.
Yes. Very good ones, actually. Yes.
Oh, good. Well, with that, I'm going to get to coloring, and I'll hand over the reins to you.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for having us, Daniel. Well, today we're going to be answering some questions about bats. Now, Denise, did you want to go first?
No, I probably should go last.
Last? Okay. Did you want me to hop into some pictures first?
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
All right. So the pictures I'm about to show, and forgive me if I'm not really great at this, they're going to cover some of the questions. But I think that I love pictures. And since we're coloring pictures today, I thought I'd share some pictures. So let's see if I know what I'm doing.
Sweet. Let me know if I can help out or something.
It says host disabled participant screen sharing. So I guess I do need a hand here.
Okay, host disabled desktop. Well, oh no.
Sorry, complications to start.
Oh dear.
Well, I can always go. It's not that crucial that you go first.
No, it's not a big deal. And I don't have to have the pictures. They're nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure why this is disabled. I wonder if this is in my settings. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and go, Denise, this might take me a little bit.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. Let's see. Where should we start? Grace, I have your questions.
Ready?
So we're going to start there. Okay. Why do bats sleep when we are awake? Does anybody have any idea? No.
No.
If you knew, you wouldn't ask, would you?
That's right.
Bats come out when the bugs start to come out. And that's usually at dusk when it starts to get dark and the mosquitoes start flying. One little bat can eat thousands of mosquitoes all by himself every single night. So they come out when the bugs come out. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm going to skip one for just a second, okay? The one after that you asked me was, can bats be pets? Unfortunately, bats cannot be pets. Bats are wild animals, okay? And it's really not good to keep any wild animal as a pet, okay? There are, not in Colorado, but in other places, there are sanctuaries that do keep, like zoos and sanctuaries. They will keep bats there and take really good care of them, but you can't just have one in your house and just say, it's going to be my pet. They do carry some diseases. They're wild animals. They can bite you every once in a while. It's not uncommon, but especially in Colorado, they don't want you to have bats as pets.
Wild animals. Wow.
Yeah, they are wild animals. Exactly. What do bats eat? I'm going to show you. The bats in Colorado are called insectivores. They eat insects, which are mosquitoes, flying gnats, little small things that they eat, okay? When we do rehab, this is what we give them. See that? That's a mealworm. We have to give them live mealworms.
Yum.
But what we do is we keep a whole bunch of mealworms, okay? And we sprinkle supplements on top of them. So the mealworms have no nutritional value. So we put supplements on them so it makes the bats healthy. It's like giving them vitamins. When they eat the worms have eaten all the supplements, and then they get the good stuff in them. But our bats all eat insects. If you were to ever find a bat on the road or on the street or the sidewalk or something, don't try to give it fruit. Don't try to give it milk. They will not touch it. And, the best thing you can do is get a box and, put it in a box with a little tiny cap of water and then call us, okay? Don't ever try to feed them. Yeah, see, there you go. She's got that part. Yeah. You want to talk a little bit about that one, Sachiko, I have a little surprise for you guys. Okay.
As Denise was saying, you never ever want to handle a bat or any wild animal. You always want to go get a what? When you need help, what do you look for? It starts with an A. An adult.
An adult.
An adult. You want to find a trusted adult. So when you see a wild animal and anything that's hurt, what do you guys do?
Find an adult.
Find an adult. Good job. That's great, because the adult is going to be able to figure out what that animal needs and the rehabber that's going to best help that animal. And then you're going to get a bat. Well, in our case, when we rescue a bat, we make sure to give you a little stuffed bat for your memory that you saved a bat's life. And for the participants in this particular class, we can go ahead and ask Daniel for your information or send them over to Daniel to get to you guys, because we wanted to thank you for being a part of today's coloring online.
Yeah.
You get one of our
Oh, that's cool.
bat rescue bats.
How is that? Okay, because of the COVID, as you see, we have to wear masks and we always have to wear gloves, no matter what right now. Otherwise, under normal circumstances, because we have had all of our shots, we have to have special shots to take care of the bats. Because we've had all of our shots, when they're in our care after a few days or a week, we don't have to wear all this, but we wear this to protect us as well as the bats. Okay? So, remember when I showed you that little wormy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what our bats eat, right? Look here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Whoop! Come here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's not happy. I wanted to, I got my sponsors let me get one, okay, so I could show you guys. But see, look how cute he is.
Oh.
Aw. What type of bat is he?
That's a big brown bat. Believe it or not, this is a big brown. See? See how tiny he is though? But this is still a big brown bat. Okay? And if he could make little noises, I don't know. I can't get him to make any noises. But they don't make squeaky. That's your other question. What sounds do bats make? They make little squeaks, but they don't sound like squeak, squeak, squeak. They sound like, here you go. I gotta get up here where the camera is. Can you see him? Oh, big yawn. Oh my goodness. He yawned for you guys.
Do you like him?
See how sweet? See how they're just, and they're fuzzy. Look, see their fur? Oh, 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 oh. He's not cooperating. Come here, little guy. But they have fur. See? And it's really soft. Look at his big ears. You want to see his wings? He's not gonna like this part. I'll show you his wings too, okay? Because this is how we do our exam. We have to look at everything. We take their little wings like this, right? And we pull them out. See?
There's his wing.
Whoop. See?
Wow.
See how thin it is too? We have to make sure there's no holes in their wings. We turn them over, we look at their little teeth, we look at their eyes, and just make sure, try to see what's wrong with them, okay? Because if they call us, somebody finds a bat, it's not normal, okay? It's not normal to find a bat. If you find a bat, there's something wrong, okay? Whether it's only displaced, you know, we get those. A lot of the bats can't fly up off of the ground, okay? You have to put them on a tree so that they can drop. They've got to get the air under their wings to fly. So if you find one on the ground, the problem there is it's on the ground. And what we do is we pick it up, we make sure, we look it over, make sure there's no other issues and no problems. And then we put them back in a tree, or we let them fly, because they have to be able to fly. Otherwise, they sit on the ground, it's not good for them to sit on the ground. They can't get water, they can't get food or anything like that. All right. And he just ran and hid. He's like, don't touch me.
That was a nice little surprise co-star.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe he was that, he went along with that well.
Well, thanks for that, Denise.
You're welcome. You
Hey,
guys have any other questions?
Yes. Do you have any other questions about bats, Grace?
No.
You had questions. Want me to remind you what they were?
I have a list of Finn's questions.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, we have Finn's questions. Do you have that working now?
I think I was able to grant Sachiko access. See if it works for you on your side.
Okay, let's take a look. And just in case it does work and I can't see the questions again, I'm going to read them out because I know I cover them in this little picture presentation. How many babies do bats usually have? How old on average can they get? What is the biggest bat? And what is the smallest bat? Okay, here we go. We're going to see if my screen cooperates with me. And I don't want to share your face on this. No, you can already see me. So this should share my screen. Is it sharing?
Yes.
See a bat?
Yeah.
Excellent. So when I do, that's a little far. Pardon my computer skills here. Got to get us back on the front page. All right. So for you guys, what you see right there is the golden crowned flying fox. This would be our largest bat, coming in at a wingspan of up to 5 feet 6 inches. That's taller than me. I'm only 5'4".
Me too.
And they only weigh up to about 2.6 to 3 pounds.
Jeez.
This bat is only found in the Philippines. It's one of the planet's largest species.
Wow.
Isn't he adorable? Now, what you see is a young lady holding that bat. Denise spoke a little bit about kind of touched on some regulations. So here in Colorado, we're super, super strict. But sometimes you guys probably see specials where people like touch bats and stuff. In other places, they have different regulations. But here in Colorado, we make sure to do all wear a mask and keep our gloves on. I'm sorry, was that a question?
No.
Oh, okay.
Elias just likes to chat.
That's all right. We love chatting. Now, this bat here is Kitty's hognose bat. This would be the smallest bat, also referred to as the bumblebee bat.
We're just seeing a wing.
You're seeing a wing? That's it?
Yeah.
I see the whole thing.
Head. I see his whole body. Me
Even
too.
his little-
Yeah. Wow, it just must be my end. Let me see what's going on here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got the whole thing, Satch.
Okay, good.
Perched on a glove.
Yep.
Perched on a glove. Yep.
Fit in the window. There we are.
Now, have you guys ever had Skittles before?
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
if you just put one Skittle in your hand, do you remember how that feels? Just one Skittle?
Mm-hmm.
That's how heavy the bat is.
Goodness.
Wow.
Yep.
That's,
Oh, I'm sorry. 2 Skittles. It's 2 Skittles. I know, still pretty light though, right?
Uh-huh.
You can eat 2 Skittles as quickly as one.
It's true. It's very true. I'm going to go to do you want me to stay on this screen to see if you can get the whole image?
Oh yeah, I've got the whole image.
Perfect. Now over here, what you're going to see is a little brown bat. Now it only weighs 1/4 to 1/3 of an ounce, and it's only about 2 inches long in wingspan. These little guys are tiny, tiny. Not as tiny as the bumblebee though. Did you know that there's over 1,400 species of bats?
Gee.
That's a huge number, right?
Indeed.
Pretty. Does that blow your mind?
Yeah, they are. There is plentiful bats for us to love. This one here is the northern long-eared bat. It spends its winter hibernating in caves and mines. Look at that smile. Can you guys smile that big? That's a pretty big smile, right?
Those are great teeth.
Great teeth. We touched briefly on how some things can maybe threaten bats a little bit here and there. One of those things is white nose. So white nose is a fungus that grows on the outside of bats. You see how the nose right there has white fuzzy on it?
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit on the ears? That's what the white nose looks like. And white nose syndrome isn't currently in Colorado yet, but it's in several states and it's very threatening. So we're working really hard to inform people not to go into caves that are closed off and to always clean their caving equipment so that they don't spread this horrible fungus.
Does-
What's that?
Ask your question.
Could the fungus get onto humans?
It does not live on humans, but it can live on their gear. So if someone went caving in one state and then they went to another state without cleaning their gear as mandated by the states, then they can spread this by just wearing the same shoes or using the different gear that they use to climb the caves.
So does it end up killing the bat?
Oh yeah. And
Okay.
it's not pretty either.
No.
Basically what happens is it keeps them from the fat that they store when they hibernate. It keeps them from sleeping the whole time. It wakes them up all the time, and they end up dissolving all that stored fat too quickly, and there's no food and no water, and then unfortunately it causes them to pass away due to starvation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a horrible death.
Yeah, it is. It's very. When I found that out, I was just like, no.
Yeah. Mm.
There are scientists working to help with this, and they're going to keep working to help with this. But the best help of all, and I know you guys know this one, is education. Woo!
Right.
Okay, we're going to go to our beautiful lesser long-nosed bat. Do you see what that bat is eating there?
What is that, do you think?
It's pollen,
Is it
isn't it?
Getting some nectar.
Oh, nectar.
It's getting covered in pollination there. You guys like to eat nectar?
No, I like to eat honey.
Honey.
Me too.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Me too.
These bats help pollinate. Have you ever had like nuts or figs or chocolate?
Yeah, I've had chocolate.
Chocolate? Well, these bats help pollinate the plants that give you chocolate. Yeah, bats help get you chocolate. Let's remember that. That's very, very important.
Without bats, no Hershey bars.
No Hershey bars.
No margaritas either.
Now, here you can see a whole colony of bats. Do you see them packed in there? Do you guys think that you guys could curl in with your family that close and tight every single night?
Those are pretty.
Wow.
That's a lot of bats, right?
He's a finger. Nobody can.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, would you like to tell everybody that? Nobody-
They like to cuddle. This is the California leaf-nosed bat.
Oh.
Look at those ears and look at that big nose. Do you think this guy likes to fly?
Yeah?
Yeah. He's probably pretty good at catching some bugs, huh?
Mm-hmm.
He can hear him pretty well with those ears. This right here is a picture of the Mexican freetail bats that emerged from the Texas Bracken caves. You know how many bats are usually coming out of those caves?
Jeez.
How many?
15 million. Can you picture that?
Million.
Million bats. And can you guys guess? Give me a guess about how fast some of their speeds can reach in flying.
100 miles an hour? 100
Holy cow, you'd be right. Good job.
Good job, bud.
That was brilliant. Yes, yes, they can. This here's one of our local favorites. It's a hoary bat, which means tricolor tips.
Oh.
See the three different colors in the fur on that left picture?
That's a pretty bat. Yeah.
Beautiful, like a teddy bear face, right?
And they're super sweet. That's one of the sweetest bats we've ever had the pleasure of rehabbing.
Yeah, they're also one of the larger ones for Colorado, whereas the other bats, if you look at your hand, and just me remembering the hands that you're probably looking at are much smaller than mine, the hoary bat would fill your hand more towards from the palm of your hand to your finger, versus the other bats would just sit in the palm of your hand only. If you can picture that. It's kind of the best explanation I can give when you're looking at your hands. Holy cow, that's pretty darn small, right?
Right. Oh.
That's big for this bat. Speaking of big, check out those ears on this Townsend big-eared bat. What?
Tiny eyes.
Look at that.
His eyes are.
Now that guy's gonna hear a mosquito from a mile away, right?
Yeah. I'm so good at hearing. That's what he looks like.
Yep. I think that should be his little caption. And this guy over here, this is the spotted bat. Look how rounded those are. Still big ears.
Oh, wow.
I've seen this bat also referred to, and maybe it was a picture mix-up, but kind of the panda bat, because look at the fur there. It kind of reminds me of a panda.
Kind of that black and white coloration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm glad you're okay.
That guy. And then here's another bat colony.
That's a party.
Now, they are partying down, cuddling, sharing from each other's heat, being best buddies. They also have, now bats, hey, what do you guys think bats' babies are named? What do you call them?
What would you call it?
I think they're named pups.
They are pups, you're right.
Jonathan.
You got it. Bats normally only have, most bat species normally only have about 1 pup per year. Whereas the hoary bat can have 1 to 2, and it is possible but incredibly rare to have 2 babies for microbats. Megabats, I think, is the same. I would have to double check that, but on average, they don't have that many babies. They're not going to pop out 3 or 4 babies. You know, like bunnies can have 6.
Yeah.
Bats don't do that. They're more like us. They have 1 or 2, except for they're not like us in the sense that they do it every single year. And that's kind of a thing. They're like, hey, you know, I need a baby this year. All right, let's have another pup. These bats also feed on their mother's breast milk. So just like us, they start out with a bottle or milk from their mom. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. They're more like us than you think. After I take this the pictures down in a second, I'll show you why their name means hand wing, because they are very much like us in the bone structure.
Yeah.
This is the Mexican long-tongued bat. It is a vital pollinator in the desert systems. And do you know what you can thank this bat and bats like it for?
What's that?
Besides some more chocolate, tequila. Not for you kids, but for your parents.
It's something that, Kendra and Carrie would probably appreciate.
That's
They
right.
would
Without
definitely-
bats, you would not have a margarita. That's what I tell people.
And you know what else also comes from these wonderful, wonderful bats is 80 medicines come from the plants that rely on these bats for their survival.
Oh, geez.
So that's pretty important. That was more of a note for the parents, but you kids, you can ooze this up. Now you see this little guy right here?
Oh,
That's a baby fruit bat. That's just after he got all of his fur in.
Stella Luna.
It's
Yes.
yes, it's just like Stella Luna. Now I see in this picture, it doesn't show it very well, but this picture was to show you that they have belly buttons just like us.
Oh.
And it cut it off, so I'll have to circle back and send you guys the picture with the belly button. Or if you are able to ask your parents to pull up a baby fruit bat, you will be able to see that there is a belly button just where this picture ends. Yeah. This is just to reiterate, we can thank bats for a lot more than we realized with medicines, soap, avocados, margaritas. There's all kinds of stuff that bats do that a lot of people just don't know. And, you know, they're pretty darn cool, and they eat a whole lot of bugs here in North America. So
Yes,
I'm a
they
big
do.
fan. Let me scoot out of this setting here. Oh,
Oh, nice.
can you guys still see the picture, or do you see me? I cannot see you.
I can see the picture. Me too.
I
All
see it.
right, I'm gonna hit stop share.
There you go.
Hi, I'm back. I love pictures. They help guide me in my life.
Grace has
So
another.
one of the
question.
things that bats have, can you do this, guys, real quick, if you're not busy? Oh, Grace, do you have a question?
No, she was doing this like you told her to.
Oh, you were?
I think she had a question.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Grace.
Okay, go ahead.
Do any bats live in Nevada?
Yes, there are bats that live in Nevada. I would have to look up specifics, but normally, I think we found in every state in North America is a big brown bat. And that's the one you saw earlier.
I have a question.
Yes.
You still didn't answer my question. What's the oldest bat?
Oh, the oldest bat. Oh, goodness, it was in there too. The very, very oldest recorded bat is 41 years old. I thought it was 42, but when I looked him up, it was 41 years old. And the species, bear with me, looking back at my notes. But on average, wild bats live up to 20 years, but they've been recorded up to 30 to 41 years. And this guy, where are you, little dude? I will circle back with you on the species because I do have it in my notes, and you're right, I didn't say it out loud. Here it is. It said the smallest, longest living bat is 41 years old. And it said the smaller the animal, the shorter its lifespan, but bats break the rule in longevity. Although most bats live less than 20 years in the wild, scientists have documented 6 species that have lived more than 30 years.
Wow.
And a tiny bat from Siberia set the world record of 41 years.
Jeez.
There you go.
No.
Inside.
That
Now,
was in captivity though, wasn't it?
and no, that
Oh.
one was wild. Captivity
Oh.
truncates the life of bats. So you hear the average lifespan can be like 20 years plus.
Mhm.
When a bat is found in captivity, they only last because they don't have the resources or the freedom about 1 to 2 years. And it's pretty sad and reserved.
Yeah.
Have they, figured out why that might be?
Well,
you also hear the same thing on the other end of the evolutionary chain with like great whites and stuff. They can't keep them in tanks.
Yeah, and I refer to that specifically. I'm not talking about the sanctuaries. The sanctuaries completely give the bat what they need, a huge flight space, the resources, the nutrients. I'm talking about the illegal pet trade. So when somebody has a bat and they're not supposed to, and they don't have the resources and they have the small space and they're not giving them the nutrients, they're just treating them, oh, look, it's like I have a little pet and they don't need anything special, but they do. They really do. They need a huge space to fly in. They need the freedom and they need their colony. They need to be able to socialize or separate if they choose to. And an individual in a regular home situation and not a huge sanctuary doesn't have the resources for that.
Yeah. Oh, gee. Hey, Sachiko, one question that comes to mind too is how, and I don't know if you know this, but how far back in the fossil records do have bats been on the earth?
You know, it's funny that you asked that, and I just saw something on this, but I did not memorize it. It was a lot further than I expected.
Oh, okay.
But I do encourage any of the watchers to look it up. I don't want to be that person on the interview that goes and Googles and pretends I know. I don't know, but it is something you can pull up, and it is something I've seen recently. And there is an amazing resemblance in the fossil that I saw to the bats of today. It looked to me like a big brown, just a little bit more elongated and maybe a little, just the average size actually.
Okay. Wow, that's cool.
I wasn't in person, so I can't, if I was in person, how big it would be.
That's cool. All right.
Now, Finn, did I get through all of your questions?
I may have stepped out. What was the average size of, are they called litters? What are they called for bats?
When they have babies?
Yeah.
Oh, they're pups.
Pups.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have litters because they only have one. On average, most bats will only have one per year.
I didn't know that.
Yep. That's why when it's really hard when that white nose syndrome like goes through and just decimates an entire cave. It's hard to repopulate that when the bats can only have one bat a year.
Yeah.
It's really hard. That's why we're just trying so hard to do away with it, find a cure for it.
Millions and millions of bats have died from white nose, and they continue to do so.
Yep.
And that's more than nationwide, right? Did you say that was around the world, or is that just in North America?
I know the North America states have it. Denise, do you know of the other countries that have seen it?
I do not know.
That's a great question. I'm focused on North America. You're correct.
Yeah.
Said I wasn't going to do this. I'm totally going to do this. First discovered in North America in upstate New York, February 2006. That's just a general Google search. I don't claim to have fact-checked everything, but it's from
I thought it was only
biologicaldiversity.org.
in the US though, in North America. I thought that's where it started also.
Yeah, that's where I
I
think
thought I had read something
as well,
about
but
that.
I didn't want to presume.
Right, I didn't either. That's why I was like, no, I don't know the positive answer to that.
All right, parents, feel free to ask more questions. Kiddos, you can ask more questions.
Oh yeah, that's what we're here for.
Hey, Sachiko, can you talk a little bit about COVID-19 and some of the misgivings that are
Yeah.
going out there? Try to set the record straight.
Well, COVID-19, and I've done a lot of research. I don't have any quotes or I didn't list a bunch of articles for you guys to go read because I've literally read so very many.
Mm-hmm.
We basically, as humans, there is a way that diseases can live naturally in a lot of different beings. I think, is it cohesively? So in bats can carry a lot of different things that never transmit between species. It just, scientists don't know why or how, and they are studying this, and they just carry them, and does nothing bad to them. It's kind of like their ageless nature. They're young until they're really old. You can't completely tell unless you're so experienced and exposed to bats how old a bat actually is, because they don't really show that many signs of aging. And so they're young until they're really old. But to be able to transpire a disease from a bat to a human, a whole bunch of stuff has to go a certain way. And from what I understand, it had to go that way to transport into another animal to get to a human. So you can't get COVID. Bottom line is directly from a bat. I'm not saying do not go out and touch a bat. I did not say that at all. You don't touch bats. Nobody touch bats. Don't touch wild animals. But a bat flying in your neighborhood is not going to give you COVID-19. We have more of a likelihood of passing it back. And because we don't have the research to justify that we can't, that's why we're being required to wear extra protection when rehabbers are interacting with them to make sure that we don't pass it back. Because like White knows, COVID-19, if it were passed back and had the reaction like humans had, it could devastate all of the bat populations. And we just don't want to take that chance. So all of the states are being very safe in making sure that we do all the right things to help the bats and keep them safe and keep us masked to protect them. Just like we wear masks to protect other people, we're wearing them to protect the bats as well. But they're not able to transmit to us.
Very good.
Denise, did I miss anything?
No.
And there's a lot more information from a lot, excuse me, smarter people than me out there. So please do your research.
That's what
Just make sure that you.
I know a lot, but I don't know everything.
Exactly. I don't know everything, and I don't claim to have read all of the articles, but I did read a bunch of the articles from scientists, scientific organizations, as well as even some opinionated ones. And I noticed, depending on how you search, that's what you're going to get.
Right.
So try to be as unbiased as possible and look for who is publishing that study and that information.
Well, and it had originally started with, oh my gosh, there's the Chinese were eating bats, and that's how it came about, and that's not really true.
Okay.
So that's not where it came from. It's a virus. It definitely came from, not just from eating raw bats. That's a total myth.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
Good.
Bats swim?
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? Bats can swim. I've seen pictures. You know what? If they fall in a pool, Google it. Go on YouTube and you'll find it. They go, geek, 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 trying to, yeah, they can swim right to the side of the water, right to the side of the pool or the lake or whatever, and get out. The problem with getting away from predators though is if they're in a lake, if they get in the water, they can swim and get out of the water, but they have to get to a tree or a bush before they're protected and before they can fly away. You know, they have to get up where they can drop. You know, very few bats can fly up off the ground.
That run and jump is a vampire bat.
Ah, where's the vampire bat question? That's my favorite question.
What was the question, Kim?
I heard it. Say it again.
I was just telling my mom that the only bat that can jump and run is the vampire bat.
Whoa.
Well, there are other bats that can run. Trust me. This little brown bat that I showed you, you put him on the ground, he's going to run. He's going to try to find a tree. He's going to try to find somewhere to climb up and get away from you. So they can run. And actually, vampire bats, you know what? They sneak up on cattle and livestock, and that's what they do. They crawl. They real quiet in the dark. They sneak up and get them.
Do you guys know how much a vampire bat can eat?
2 teaspoons, and then a vampire bat is full.
And full. It sounds like you did some studying.
Really? That's awesome.
He watches a lot of wild cracks.
Nice.
Ah,
Do you know what a vampire bat does that a lot of even people don't do for other people? If their friend is at the cave and hasn't eaten that day, that vampire will share some of its meal to make sure that its friend is okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet thing. So would you, if you're, let's say your sister couldn't eat that day, would you eat some for her and bring her some home?
Mm-hmm.
You would? That's awesome.
Would you do that for your brother?
Oh, brother. Sorry, brother. Sister's in that screen. Cousins. I mixed
Also,
up the kids.
Yeah.
With the
That's
friend.
all right. They're easy to mix up, you know. So-
Your brother. Grace is in that screen. Got it. Okay. Groovy. We'll keep the questions coming, or we'll just share random bat facts and stories.
I do have another question. What's the second biggest and second smallest bat?
Oh, that's very specific.
That is very specific. I think it's the gray-headed fox bat. Did I say that right, Denise?
Yeah.
I think that one's the
Gray-headed
second
fox,
biggest. For the bumblebee bat, I actually don't know what the next size up would be. I would imagine the small brown is a pretty good runner-up,
Yeah.
but I don't know all of the species of bats. There's this bat, the Honduran white bat, looks like a cotton ball.
Oh my
And
God.
depending on because it's so fluffy, I don't know if their body structure is tinier, but it could be.
I might even have a picture I can show them. Where's the
I
Honduran?
like pictures.
Yeah. Those are my favorites, is the Honduran white bats.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
so
I have
pretty.
pictures all over the place of those guys.
What, do you guys have a favorite bat?
My favorite bat is the little brown bat.
Little brown?
Oh,
You saw today?
I
Oh,
like
there is the sister.
Vampire.
Vampire bat. Okay, little brown, vampire. Any others?
Grace, do you have a favorite?
She said the little brown bat. It's so cute.
Oh, little brown bat.
Can you guys see that? No, it's not coming in very clear. Those are little Honduran white bats, and they hide under the bottom of tree fronds. But it's not showing very clear. I don't know.
Can you angle it a little bit? It's got
Try to do. No, it's not working very good. But see, you can see their little ears. They do look like little white cotton balls, and they have little yellow ears.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah, see?
the ball, then a ball.
Yep, and they hide under the bottom of leaves. They get right up on the top of the bottom of the leaves.
Any other viewers, just look up Honduran white bat. They come right
Yeah.
up images. They are
Oh yeah,
adorable.
if you do on Google Images, you can get some really good ones.
That's wonderful. Hey, Denise, Sachiko, can you talk about conservation and bats losing a lot of their habitat? Awesome.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow, that looks great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. You did a great job.
Good job, Noah.
I do stars because it was night. I couldn't finish the top because I didn't have enough dark gray.
Okay. Oh, look at that pretty one.
Let's see.
Look
Oh,
at that
look
big
at that nice
yellow
guy.
moon. Yes.
Grace, say something so your camera shows up, your view.
Say something.
Gotta say something.
Mine on the gallery view so I can see everybody.
Can't see.
Do bats live in cool climates?
Bats live almost everywhere. You can find bats almost everywhere in the world. Hot, cold, everywhere.
Even in Antarctica?
No, I don't. Maybe not Antarctica. Yeah, I might have to think about that one.
I don't
There's no
think
trees
so.
there. There's nowhere for them to hide.
But there is a bat that hides in the snow and hibernates in the snow, which was new to me the past couple
Yeah.
years. And I
Oh.
didn't know that.
What kind of bat is that?
I should have remembered that before I said the statement, huh?
Bless you.
It looks like it's the Assyrian tube-nosed bat. What word is that? It creates small depressions and then becomes covered in more snow. And please feel free to double check me on any of these. These are not my specialties, nor is the overall conservation in the world, the specifics, because I know that every person has their own perspective on their researching the rainforest getting destroyed.
Yeah.
But what we can all agree on is it's getting destroyed, which is taking away a lot of the species, not just of bats, but of other animals that are incredible and really we would love to study, as well as you see that we are always developing. Humans have a habit of making things bigger, stronger, and we're making more houses and more apartments. But the thing we're taking away is spaces for the bats to live. So when stuff like that happens, what you want to think about in that area is there places for bat houses that could help so that they have a place to go that is able to support them. There's houses that are reconstructed. We had several years back, we had a rehab from a house that was built in the 1950s. And in the woodwork, one of the bat lived up in between the walls and he got knocked out. So when you think about that, when there's bats living in your house, there's times that are good for exclusion and bad for exclusion. Exclusion means that person doesn't want the bats living in their house, but so they put up something where the bats get in so that they can't get in. Bad times for exclusion are anytime in the beginning of the spring, summer. That's horrible. You want the soonest you really want to exclude, at least here in Colorado, is like October, more towards the end, because the bats, picture it, they have a summer home and they have a winter home. And their summer home they move into, it's where the bugs are, it's where the happenings are. They're loving it with their colony. But then in the winter, they scoot out of that area and they just scoot up to a more quiet, secluded location because they're all full, they're nice and chubby, and they're gonna sleep away from more of the sounds and disruptions. And at that time, if they do the exclusion and they close up that place, then if they provide, say, a really nice bat house that's appealing when the colony comes back, they could decide to move into that bat house instead because where they used to live is closed off. So it's like, we're upgrading you to the fancy condos.
Hopefully
That's ways to try, yeah.
Yeah, Denise and Sachiko, can you kind of talk about some of your experiences with rescuing bats, like anything that kind
Sachiko has the great ones. I just have one story, but Sachiko has the really good ones.
What? You have plenty of stories.
Sticking your hand in the.
of
Hey, real quick, first, Sachiko, I got to tell you, you should know this. The little bat that's in the snow, it's a Japanese. They build tiny igloos in the snow, but they're Japanese. You should know that, girl. You see? Remember that. Usurian tube-nosed bats of Japan. That's what they are. So I just had to tell you.
Okay.
Okay, so tell them about sticking your hand in the wall.
Uh-oh.
Which wall?
Which wall? See? I told you she's got lots of good stories.
Nice.
Okay, so one year there was a cranky Walgreens bat. You guys been to Walgreens?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did you know bats sometimes stop at Walgreens too? I didn't. So I got a call. There was a bat at a Walgreens, and the dangerous part is when a bat's within an area that's, heavily populated by humans, and maybe you want to think kid size. If they're kid size, if they're like 10 feet up, they're good. They're going to head out. But if they're lower in that area, we want to check them out and make sure they're good. This little guy, he had his little bachelor pad all set up on the side of this Walgreens. It had rocks going up, and then it had the little siding looking thing, so there's just a little gap there that was perfect for him. So he had his summer spot all picked out, but then I messed it all up for him because he was right there where you guys could reach him, and that's tempting. You guys know not to touch bats, but some other kids may not know, so we want to be real careful about that. So we took him, we checked him over, and he was just a relocation. He didn't even have to come in. He looked perfect. He thought he had prime real estate, but then he had to get evicted and he got upgraded though. He got into some trees just like a couple miles away. He was just fine.
That's funny.
Denise, tell yours.
The most fun I've had was going 4 stories up in a cherry picker to rescue a bat from. There was an apartment or a condo, I don't know what it was, but the guys were tearing the siding off. And this is the one thing about Colorado bats. They're all crevice bats. So they want to get in between like siding. Some places real tight and they hibernate. Well, they're pulling the siding off and there's a bat way under the side. One bat, just one little tiny bat. So the guy covered him back up again real quick, called me. I come out there and he takes me all the way up in the cherry picker up to the 4th floor, and he removes that siding, and I had to grab that little bat before he disappeared and relocate him. But again, he was fine. But that was probably I've never been in a cherry picker before in my life, but I went up in there and I got that bat off the 4th floor. And he was fine. He was just, it was probably in like April, May, and that's when they first start coming out again out of hibernation, and he just wasn't ready to come out yet. He like, nope, this is my home. He thought he had prime real estate there too.
I have a question. What do you put them in when you rescue them for transport?
A little butterfly cave. But what we do is we cover, actually here, this is what we do. Because I have to take him back. But see, we cover them up, okay? So they have, we get our little baby blankets and cover them. And then inside, they have little.
This stuff right here.
There's a place for, there's a place for them to hide behind. And then we put the rags on the bottom so they can bury themselves down there too if they want.
Gotcha.
So so we put them right in there, with their gloves and everything, and they usually calm down by the time we get them back, and then we start poking and prodding, and then they get mad again. We just gotta make sure they're okay, though. So
yeah, it's a nice examination.
Yeah, we're very gentle with them, and the only time it's really bad is if they are injured in any way, then they don't like to be messed with. So, but we still have to look and see if there's anything that we can do to help.
Has there been a time where it's it just gets really tragic?
Not as colorful.
Oh yeah.
Yes, there has. Do we want to go into more detail on a kid's coloring?
Probably not, but
Yeah, but
There
yeah.
is one that I will say, and I'll just spare you the details, but every time we get a bat stuck to fly paper, sticky
That's-
traps are the absolute worst, worst, worst. I won't go into the details of it, but it does take a lot for us to get them off of that. If
It
we
takes
get them in time.
hours to get a bat off of a glue trap if you're successful. So that's
no to
why
glue
we tell
traps.
everybody. That is definitely one of my soapboxes. No glue traps. And my other soapbox is the rabies thing. Don't ever, ever, ever hang those glue traps or those glue strips outside. They catch hummingbirds, they catch bats, they catch everything. And it's really, 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 really difficult. I watched Sachiko take hours. It takes hours to get a bat off of a glue trap.
No.
Hours.
The more experienced you are, the quicker you can get, but depending on how entwined they are.
Right.
Because it's
but you have to be just incredibly careful and incredibly patient. And the whole time, it's just not good for the bats or the birds,
or anything, because that's their food on there, so that's why they get tempted into getting on there.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you sharing your drink with us?
oh man, wow, that's unfortunate to hear. So do you find a lot of your calls to come rescue a bat are because of people, things that people have done?
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay.
I think we do get some, but I think I would think it probably maybe it's 50-50, put it down, because a lot of the calls I get are the bats have been sprayed, okay, and they're in the trees or whatever, and then you have an apartment complex, the humans are spraying for bugs, but they don't know the bats are there, and so then you get a bat that you have to bring home and bathe, try to get as much of that poison off them as you can, and just keep a real close eye on them. But yeah, that or they they get attacked by another animal, and that seems to be a lot of our calls, or they're just displaced. That's what I'm saying. A lot of them they're just not disturbed out of their hibernation, or they're they got knocked out of the tree by another bird or something like that. We just go and make sure they're okay, make sure they're eating and drinking, and then send them on their way.
Cat attacks is a big one. So people that let their cats out in a rural area, we're not picking on you. We're just trying to educate you. Cats are predators. That's their natural state. They will go after a bat. They will go after baby bunnies. They will get them. And it just is inevitable. So there are the worst injuries I've seen are usually a cat attack.
Right.
The number and veracity of the bats coming in, though, it sometimes is they're just dehydrated.
Right.
They just got in a hard place where they couldn't feed or water themselves. Some of them are first-time pregnant bats that did not forage enough for themselves, so they're malnourished, and dehydrated.
Yeah.
And so we get them fattened up, and then they get extra chubby, and we're like, oh, there's a friend in there.
Or you don't know there's a friend until they have the baby. That's happened to me twice.
Yeah, it's a surprise. Welcome to the
Whoa, there's a baby in the game.
How cute
What happened
is
last
that? Yeah, they're just so many different reasons, but the reason we get them a lot of times is hard to remember is sometimes they are sick. Sometimes they're old and geriatric. Sometimes they've been through a rough situation. We don't get to see all the healthy ones, so we can't compare the numbers to the healthy ones.
Right.
But when we can get a bat and turn that around for them and get them back out there and hunting those freaking mosquitoes that are eating you up, Oh, it feels so good to see them fly off and start
Yes.
hunting.
Yes.
Hey, Grace, did you have a question? I think I saw your hand raised a while ago. Grace?
She had her question answered.
Oh, she did. Okay.
Yeah, the last question she asked.
Well, oh, Finn, you got a question?
Uh-huh.
What a bit
Yeah, go ahead.
I gotta remember. What's the longest bat?
You mean wingspan?
Uh-huh.
I think, wasn't that Philippines bat?
Yep, that's the Philippines bat.
That
Do you
huge-
remember the name of that bat? Golden crowned flying fox.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's the one that's 5 feet 6 inches.
That.
Taller than me.
Big. A
Not
lot
in-
taller than me too.
probably.
Noah, did you have a question? I thought I saw a hand raised.
No, he's just doing acrobatics on the couch.
Okay. Any more questions? I think we're just about ready to start wrapping this up. Sachiko and Denise, anything more that you wanted to add?
I can't think of anything.
We can talk. Oh, it's beautiful.
Good job. buddy.
Yes.
We can
look
talk
at-
hours and hours on bats. So the direction is just easy for us. Yes.
And
Go ahead, Finn.
what is the ugliest bat?
Ugly. All of them are
They're
so
cute.
stinking cute. I know that there's some opinions on the Yoda bat. That's a nickname. But that if you look up Yoda bat, some people have an opinion, but I think he has one of the cutest little faces ever. Cutest little faces ever.
Can I see a picture of
Here,
the
I
Yoda
will
bat?
look up a picture for you.
Terry's looking it up for you.
Yep.
Oh, that's hilarious. What do you got? Did you find it?
I did. Let me pull up. Let's see if I can get it up to the.
Look at that face.
Oh, yeah. He's adorable.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
He looks like a shame.
Yeah.
That's cute. I think he's adorable.
I think he looks like a little moose.
Oh, we're about to have a visitor.
Oh,
Come here, sweet pea. You want to see these guys?
is that your daughter? Oh,
This is
hi.
my kiddo, Hikari. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
You see that they're coloring a picture.
Hi,
What is that?
That's a bat. You know that.
What is that?
Oh, who is that?
Brenda's excited.
Yes.
Another one my size.
What is that?
Aw. Hey, Denise,
Yes.
Sachiko, one other question too is how can people support Colorado Bat Crew and rescues?
If you look up coloradobatcrew.org, there is a donation page if you'd like to donate. We're working on, I know we have to update the website, but we are a nonprofit established, and we are looking at other ways to create buttons or Amazon wish lists coming in the future. If you pull up Colorado Bat Rescue on Facebook, that's actually the Colorado Bat Crew. It's just easier when people are thinking or they're scared and they're trying to find a rescue for bats. We didn't want to confuse them, so we put that name as Colorado Bat Rescue. We are the Colorado Bat Crew. And the other thing you guys can do is tell people how awesome bats are. They're
Yeah, they're
awesome.
not scary at all.
Mm-mm.
Not at all.
They're not scary. They provide so many wonderful things.
Yep.
And they're adorable, and they have the right to live here too. And any surviving ecosystem, when you look at it, you will find ecosystem. You will find that bats help that ecosystem thrive.
Yes.
They are a cornerstone.
Very important.
Oh, and
Very important.
they are the only mammal capable of sustained flight.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, no other mammal can do that.
No other mammal can fly.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Oh, but we
Like-
didn't do the hand thing. So put your hand up like this.
Can you put your hand up?
You see those hands? Okay, now flip it a little bit. Now picture that all of your fingers are as long as down to the bottom of your butt cheeks. And in between those fingers is a little soft skin. You feel the skin right here between your thumb?
Yep.
Picture that that's all skin. That's literally a bat's wing. So they're hand wings. So when they do this, they're flying with their hand wing.
See?
Isn't that cool?
Huh?
Yeah, and some would say they use the power of spirit fingers to fly.
Oh, there you go.
See?
No, those are bat bones.
That's cool. Well, guys, let's, hey, Finn, Noah, Grace, let's hold up and show us your artwork that you colored today.
Hold on, I just got finished his wing. I just gotta finish the sky.
Okay. Grace, you got to say something to flip this screen.
Her bat has a star on his belly. Look at that. No.
Nobody wants.
There you go. Nice. Good job, Grace.
Let me see yours, Noah. Oh, looky there. Wow.
I'm Finn.
That's
Finn has
okay.
a
Oh,
bat.
yeah, Finn. I'm sorry. You're Noah. You're Finn. I'm looking up backwards here.
Also, once at Finn's school, someone called me Finn, which
Oh, I did not mean that. You know, I was looking at you and talking to him because he was holding his picture up. That's what I did. Finn, let me see that again. That's really good. Look at you. You got the color all in the lines. Look at you. Very nice.
it's a black bat.
Yeah.
Cool.
I wanted it to be a vampire bat. That's only drink cow blood and sheep blood.
What?
Yeah, that's right. They don't eat human blood, do they?
No.
No, they don't ever hurt humans. No. They sneak up on them.
A little homework, we didn't mention the silver bat.
Oh,
So
Oh,
make sure
my.
to ask your parents to look up the silver bat.
Silverback
That's
are
one that's
cranky.
prominent here as well.
They're cranky.
They are a little crankier.
They're cranky.
They're a little privileged, a little
They're
snoopy.
snoot. Yes, they are a little
Hmm.
snoot. But you know, I did have one of the, you know, I said I had two that had babies. One was in my flight space and I was about ready to release her, and I happened to notice, wait a minute, there's an extra leg coming out from behind her, and I don't know, she didn't have that leg when I got her. And so I looked in the bottom. She had a baby. She was hanging onto the bottom of a baby on her backside. So, and I'm like, oh my gosh, can't release her right now. Then the other one that I had, I just kept her for like a couple of days, and I was about to release her too. I was gonna put her in a flight space, make sure she could fly good. As I was putting her in the flight space, I look and there's a baby, and I'm like, oh my gosh! So I put her back in her little cave, right? So this was the first one. That was the first one I had to have babies. Like, I gotta take a picture. Right? So I lift up the little cover and I go to take a picture, and there's 2 babies. That little silver had 2 babies. Yeah. So she had little twins. I have a picture of her with her 2 little babies right next to her there. And she had them for a while too. She had them for several weeks before I even noticed. So, because they had fur all over them. I don't know. I don't mess with them when I think they're going to be released, you know, because I couldn't release her right away. But I don't mess with them so they don't, you know, they don't get attached. They're easier to release. So I didn't mess with her, and I, you know, it's got time to release her, and I go to put her in a flight space, make sure she can fly after the winter, and boom, there's 2 babies in there. So yeah, I did end up releasing all 3 of them together though, so that was good. Yeah.
That's good. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Denise, Sachiko, thank you so much for being so generous with your time.
Absolutely. I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. You know, thanks for coming on and talking to us some more about bats. We'll have to do something similar to this another time.
Absolutely. I'm game. I would love to do it. I have a blast doing stuff like that.
Excellent. Finn,
Oh, we got a question.
Oh, another question.
Can I see the bat stuffed animal again? I didn't get to see it well.
This one? This was a little silver. And then she has a little brown.
Oh, go ahead, say something, Sachiko.
Let me have it.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. We have to talk to get you guys to see.
Yeah.
This is the one she's going to send around for you guys, okay?
And there it goes to my daughter, but that's okay. I have more.
Oh, Noah, do you have a question now?
Yeah. Actually, I don't have the word question. I'm just going to tell you how I learned that I don't drink cow blood.
How'd you learn that?
Firecrack's Halloween one where Chris wanted to be a vampire bat, and Mountain wanted to be a type of a spider.
Oh.
He wanted
Wow.
to a chinchilla, and also he told me that like drink sheep blood.
Oh.
Wildcraft is very informative.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Hey guys,
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
how's it going?
Did you make that, Sachiko?
Oh, make it? No, not that talented.
Oh,
Hey, thanks for the compliment though. I appreciate it. I look good, right?
Bye, my
Did you guys have a good time today?
Yes, thank
eat me.
He's not gonna eat.
I know, but I don't know what's
yes,
on
we
the
did.
plate.
Thank you very much.
Sound went out again.
You don't know
All
yet.
right.
That's-
Oh, I'm afraid we're pretty much out of time.
He's gonna cut us off here soon.
Denise and Sachiko, Kendra and Carrie, thanks for bringing your kids along.
Yes, thank you so much.
Of course, thank you for sharing all the info.
Yeah, hi, Brenna. Hey, and guys, anybody that's watching this at home, online, make sure you go to the event page or go to cofohorror.com, and you can download the art and color this yourselves. Make sure you go to the Colorado batcrew.org. Is that correct? Okay.
I guess I could actually unmute myself, huh? That would be nice of me. I was trying to mute it to make sure I didn't make sound so everybody could see each other. Sorry, it's coloradobatcrew.com.
.com. So Colorado.com. And you can also buy merchandise with this
Oh, yeah, we'll go backwards. Never mind.
to help support their endeavors. All right, guys. Well, I've got to sign off. So feel free to stay on real quick. I'm going to just hit the stop record.
Bye.
So, everybody,
Bye.
bye bye.